Hey YouTube, Magazine 2021 here, coming at you with an anime discussion video. This time I'm going to be talking about the 2013 Makoto Shinkai film, The Garden of Words. And I just recently, and by recently I mean today, checked out this from the local library near my house. And yeah, I thought it was good. Definitely not his best work, but I was very impressed with the visuals, especially how I'm not really sure what the technique would be called. Maybe reverse shading, but pretty much all the characters were, for the most part, shaded, and on the parts where a character would normally be shaded, they would have like a light source shining on them. So it was kind of like a reverse shading technique, I guess. So that was pretty nice to look at. I was definitely impressed by the visuals. The voice acting was pretty good, I guess. I mean, yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't that great. I mean, I did just say it was pretty good, but it was passable. I don't really remember the plot that well, but from what I do remember, it's about this guy in high school who one day decides to skip class on a rainy day, and he goes through this park, and he winds up meeting this lady who is also at the park at the same time that it's raining, and they pretty much hit it off, and they start showing up at the park like every time it rains, and they always go to the same spot, and they talk about whatever, and yeah, some stuff happens. I'm not really gonna say what happens so as to not spoil anything, but I was honestly expecting the ending to make me cry, not as much as 5 centimeters per second did, because when I first watched that in 2013, that well, it wasn't until the final part of the movie during the end credits, and the song was playing, and it wasn't so much the song but the subtitles that they showed for the words of the song that just made me break down. And yeah, I don't know why it happened, but it just did, and I cried for 10 minutes straight, and it just pretty much reminded me of my failed love life up to that point in time. I mean, I did get over it, I guess, but my old cat was sleeping next to me, and I had to be kind of quiet because I didn't want to wake her up at the time. And then I ended up watching Anohana right after that, and I definitely would have cried more watching that if I hadn't have watched 5 centimeters per second right before watching it, or I should say marathoning it, because I watched it home sitting. But yeah, Garden of Words didn't make me cry as much as I was expecting. I did tear up a little towards the end, but not as much as I was expecting, like I said already, for like the third, fourth time. Yeah, it reminded me of his other films that I've seen. I've only seen, well, I've watched this one, but before that I had watched 5 centimeters per second, and then I watched Voices of a Distant Star, which was his first work. Or, well, it was more like a independent film because he did everything for it. Like, he did all the animation, all the he basically did everything for it. But and then besides those two, I watched the majority of Children Who Chase Lost Voices when that came on Toonami back in, no, was it December? It was sometime last year, but yeah, I got to watch the majority of that when that came on Toonami last year, and yeah, I haven't seen any of his other films besides these three and the majority of Children Who Chase Lost Voices. But yeah, there's one thing I can praise about the Garden of Words. It's the visuals for sure, because aside from Voices of a Distant Star, all of his films that I've watched so far have all been visually appealing and very nice to look at. Very nice aesthetics. If I had to recommend The Garden of Words to anyone, I'd say more towards people that are fans of Makoto Shinkai. But I could probably recommend it to the average anime watcher, fan, or whatever. So, yeah, I'd say it's definitely worth checking out, like, at least once. Yeah, I got nothing else to say about it, so I'm just gonna end the video. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.